Hello guys, in today's video I will be explaining what my concept is of the scary baboon lore. Some of this is fan-made by me and the rest of it is real lore. Alright, so picture this. The year is 2062 and World War III started 11 years ago. The US is currently in dire need of more soldiers because they're losing the war. But what if they don't need more soldiers? What if they need stronger soldiers? So basically, a research facility known as Baboon Labs takes advantage of this opportunity because they're like going bankrupt and you need more money. So yeah, if the US uses their soldiers, they're gonna get a ton of money. So they take advantage of this opportunity and they use baboons to test out their new formulas for making stronger soldiers. The first experiment they decided to try is the meat cube experiment. So Dr. Eric selected two of the baboons to try the meat cube experiment, which is basically they would feed the baboons only one meat cube a day. It was about like an inch by an inch big. But anyways, first few days of the experiment, nothing really happened, but the baboons seemed a little different, like their personality was a little changed. So they decided to lock them in solitary confinement just in case there was any like, I don't know, dangers, all that stuff, you know. After 3 weeks, however, though, the baboons completely mutated and they combined with the meat cube, like fusing together with it, and this created meatman and meatman fast. Meatman and meatman fast learned how to talk because they were like smarter now, and they talked to Dr. Eric until he went insane and he wasn't hurt from until 2 years later, which was 2064. During this time, while Dr. Eric's missing, a weird substance that the scientists named Xeno petroleum 12B kept popping up around the lab. Scientists didn't think much of it, but it still could be dangerous and like radioactive, so they put up a couple cones and some caution tape around this mysterious substance and called it a day. Later that night, one of the baboons got up to go to the bathroom and tripped over one of the cones, falling into the substance. Unlike the meat cube experiment, though, this transformation happened instantly. The baboon became self-aware and filled with rage at the humans who treated him and all the other baboons that way. So the goo-covered baboon killed 3 doctors and a janitor that night. After this incident, the scientists decided to implement a feature into the lab that they called the lockdown. Scientists implanted cameras into every room that baboons were being held in, and whenever one of them escaped, all doors would shut and a loud alarm would blare until the baboon returned to its enclosure. There was one baboon, however, that all of the scientists loved, Larry. The scientists would play music and Larry loved it. But Larry listened to music a little too much, and when the scientists stopped playing music for him, he attacked them, killing one of them. Larry had to go to the same room with Meatman, Black Goo and Meatman Fast. The room was getting pretty cramped though, and if the room didn't get bigger soon, they would start to suffocate. One of the baboons, the scientists thought though, had died. So they started experimenting by working on his brain, and they triggered an electrical input through him, causing him to come back to life. They called this baboon Fred and tossed him into solitary confinement just with the other baboons, just in case he like turned into a murderer. Now the room was getting very small and compact because there were 4 baboons in a very small room. And Baboon Labs had also sent some baboons though to do manual labor for them so they could get more materials and stuff, so they and also the baboons would get stronger, get bigger muscles, all that. However, when one of the baboons got assigned the task to go mining, he got caught in a rock slide and died. The scientists tossed the corpse into the room with the others because the other baboons, the mutated ones, hadn't really had anything to eat yet, and they were starting to like get a little antsy, and so they started eating the corpse, but like, so they ate part of his head and part of his body, and he came back to life, and they just named him Unknown, which is what the mutated baboons named him. The final baboon that Baboon Labs made was had a rare condition that made his fur white. Coincidentally, the baboon's name was also White. This baboon slept next to the main power source in the lab, and one night there was a small explosion that surge electricity through him, creating the monster White. This baboon got insanely fast, and for the sake of the scientists' lives, they trapped him in the room with all the others just in case he killed some more people. At this time, a lockdown happened, which, since there was no room left in the solitary confinement room, Black Gugu's goo and Meatman's meat fused all of them together temporarily, creating a new monster known as Air. This monster could break through the doors of lockdown and open and close them all at will. Due to this, the lab had to be shut down with all the baboons still left inside. Air unfused the monsters because there was so much space in the lab that they didn't have to be together and cramped all in a compact space. Unfortunately, though, since the lab was evacuated, the mutated baboons had to resort to cannibalism since the scientists wouldn't feed them anymore, and they had to eat the baboons that weren't mutated. Remember Dr. Eric? He shut down the Baboon Labs so that the government didn't sue them, and he was never seen again.